Ohio. Nahariya, the city in the northern district of Israel. The area which is under control of city municipality -10.5 km. The coat of arms of Nahariya reflects communication between ancient roots of the Jewish population living in the district of modern Nahariya and in the afternoon. The coat of arms represents the board divided into two parts on diagonal. In the right lower part there is a historical symbol of Israel, the olive tree growing on the fertile earth of the valley of Ulla near the Asher River. Nowadays cotton. Mentioned by Moshe and in other ancient Jewish sources. In the left top part the symbol of modern Nahariya, the water tower standing on the same earth as a tree is represented. The connecting link between them, the sun lighting both a tree and a tower. And the sky, the general for the past, the present and the future. The municipal coat of arms was drawn by the school student Meyer Binyamin within the school competition which took place at Weizmann School in Anashuva. Ephraim Oltrecht, working at the time in the mandated Ministry of Education, added an inscription at the head of the coat of arms and finished it. An inscription in the top part in ancient Hebrew. What means Asher's sons are blessed, it is taken from agonal blessings of Moshe. Deuteronomy 33:24. The coat of arms is approved in 1941. Nahariya is located in the flat area in the north of the Mediterranean coast of Israel, at distance of 34 km. To the north from Haifa, at distance about 10 km. To the north from Akron at distance of 9 km. To the south from northern border of Israel and Kratos Rosh Hanekri. The earth on which Nahariya was founded -2.325 km. I belong to family of the Arab landowners of Tuini. Living in Beirut. This land was bought by 4 individuals in 1934 for the sum of 34000 Palestinian liras. Names of new landowners: the engineer Yosef Levi. The famous banker from Tel Aviv Heinrich Cohen. The agronomist Dr. Seliga Wijan-Suskin. And the representative of 2 families, famous in Palestine, Madame Paulina van Gruber-Zellikant. On the bought land farm, mini farm of Nahariya. On the model developed by the agronomist Dr. Suskin was open. The city received the name from the Gotten River. Crossing the city, in Hebrew, river means. The model Suskin was constructed by analogy with farming in one Spanish town of Monte Alleged visited by him. According to Drive. Suskin, that way of farming which he saw in Monte Alleged was the most suitable to the Israeli conditions. The model called intensive settling of a small ground under private management. Provided allocation of small grounds, from 7.5 to 9 dunam, under personal farms to business owners for the purpose of production and export of high-quality vegetables, fruit and meat products. Besides the model plan development of infrastructure. Water delivery, laying of electric cables and arrangement of a road network. Specially invited scientists had to train settlers in the correct and rational agriculture in the conditions of the new country. In 1934 the water tower, a symbol of Nahariya, was constructed. The tower took a modern form in 1936-1938. At the beginning of existence of the city, the tower served as a strong point and an outpost, warning about attacks and protecting settlers from Arabs. Now in a tower, the center of culture and art, the Museum of Art, workshops of sculptors and artists is located, and around a tower the square is broken. Two families of refugees from Nazi Germany, Kahn and Walter Deutsch. Both Ruth and Yakov Palker were the first settlers on the lands of Nahariya. They arrived to the place on February 10, 1935, and this day is considered day of foundation of the city of Nahariya. In buildings in which these families had to live, there was no ceiling even yet. The model Suskina was absolutely unreal because of the improbable optimism enclosed in her in the forecast of settling of the earth and capture of the export market. The vegetables which are grown up by Arabs cost cheaper, and the market which was promptly developing because of the fifth aliyah demanded some cheap, but not high-quality vegetables. The second blow came from the outside the market of fruit. Fruit trees well grew in the cool and damp areas of Galilee, but not on the coast. Hens often were ill, didn't lay some eggs, and from the laid eggs baby birds didn't hatch. However, settlers achieved significant progress in cultivation of strawberry, artichokes, asparaguses, etc. The pepper which is grown up in Nahariya managed to break on foreign market and occupies an export share to this day. Nevertheless, gradually residents of Nahariya left agriculture and began to be engaged in construction and the maintenance of holiday houses, sanatoria and boarding houses. The English officials ruling mandated Palestine, who were glad to have a rest in soft climate of the north of Israel and the warm Mediterranean Sea, were the first clients of these boarding houses. The first boarding house was opened by Madame Tuti Levi in 1936. Gretel Mayer opened widely known boarding house in the 1940s. Lodgers lived in the hen house, and the breakfast was served under the open sky. In the 1940s, Oppenheimer's family opened Penguin Cafe. Many residents of Nahariya for the summer moved to hen houses and utility rooms, leasing the freed house for rent. The number of places for tourists in Nahariya grew from 100 in 1938 to 200,000 in 1947. Development of the light and food industry was one of consequences of refusal of agriculture. So there were down and the plants on production of ice cream of family Strauss, whose products are exported now to a set of the countries of the world, including to Russia. The meat processing plant Zoblavek, widely known in Israel, was founded in Nahariya by Zoblavek Veletsky's family. In 1937 under the name Nahariya Sausages. During illegal immigration in Palestine to the district of Nahariya, there arrived from 10 to 12 ships with illegal immigrants. The first of them in 1939. Bourgeois Nahariya participated in foundation of new Jewish settlements in the West Galilee, Evron. 1936. Seamstresses Tsain Hanida Matsuba Ellen. 1938. Residents of Nahariya helped with construction of these new settlements and with the organization of their safety. Under the resolution of the Union No. 181, all Western Galilee up to the coast was taken by the Arab state. Residents of Nahariya and neighboring settlements, in the majority the Jews, were shocked by this fact. Nahariya got to blockade about day of declaration of independence of the State of Israel on May 14, 1948. Products in the besieged city were delivered from Haifa by the sea. On May 14, 1948 to Nahariya, the column from about 25 trucks accompanied by the armored car broke through, and blockade was raised. Operation on liberation of Nahariya and areas adjacent to her was called Ben Ami's Operation. The status of the city was received by Nahariya in 1961. The history of the city can be studied in detail in the City Historical Museum, Beit Liberman. According to the Central Statistical Bureau of Israel, the population for the beginning of 2020 made 58096 people. In the 1990s, the population of the city grew by 700 people at the expense of repatriates from the former Usr. In the city there is a center of absorption helping new repatriates to be proved in the Israeli society. In recent years the city actively stimulated repatriation, working in the countries of an outcome. According to a research of the Ministry of Elijah and Integration, inflow of new repatriates to the city in 2017 was 4 times higher than on average in Russian-speaking community of Israel. The number of Russian-speaking inhabitants makes about 20%. All houses built since the middle of the 1990th years are equipped with rooms of safety. And housing in them gets to more expensive price category. Education. By the beginning of 2017 in the city there were nearly 29% of children and youth up to 19 years. According to the website of municipality, in Nahariya 84 preschool child care facilities. In the city of 11 elementary schools. 6 classes. From which 3 religious, 2 average and 2 seniors. One of them combines average and senior. There are 2 specialized schools for children with features of development, one of which is at hospital. New classes are under construction. By the beginning of 2017 in the city studied 8501 school students, average of pupils in A class -26. The Educational Index of Madeleine. Results of examinations in the main objects in comparison with an average over the country. In 2016 made -43%. Below an average. All preschool and educational institutions are equipped with conditioners. The city education system is completely computerized. Schools have sports grounds, groups of the prolonged day and numerous circles work. In the city also cultural center of media libraries, clubs, children's and adult theaters, dancing ensembles, youth club of men. Elijah, Mekiberim and some other the studios and circles including focused on Russian-speaking children work. Industry and ecology. Place of confluence of the Cotton River with the Mediterranean Sea. In Nahariya are located. Factory of meat products of Zoglovec. The Egmo Vargas plant. Details for the food industry, metal cutting tools. Esker plant. High precision tools. Many jobs give the medical center of Northern Galilee located in Nahariya. Considerable part of the population works outside the city. In the neighborhood of Nahariya there is a number of industrial zones where the enterprises of a different profile work. Practically all enterprises provide transportation for workers. Earlier in the north of the city the asbestos plant I tenant worked. It is closed in 1997. Pollution of the territory asbestos became result. In 2011 the Ministry of Environmental Protection began the first stage of the project on cleaning of asbestos waste, which was completed in March 2017. Within the project card were removed so cubic meters in places of pollution. Other works for recovery of ecology are also performed. Transport. Highway No. 4 connecting Nahariya to the center of the country passes through the city from the south on the north. The intracity message in Nahariya is carried out by buses, shared taxis and the taxi. Long distance, the train. Final stations of the railroad which once proceeded on the north through Beirut to Europe. Buses and shared taxis. Passenger traffic density from Nahariya up to 68 departures of trains a day, which carries out the message with other cities to Tel Aviv, Jerusalem. With change in Herzliya or Tel Aviv. The airport of Ben Gurion and Beersheba inclusive. In the city 2 small beaches intended for bathing. Near the beach it is located country, the having pool, a sauna and gym. In recent years where the promenade along the seashore and the seaside park is constructed. In the city there are hotels of the highest, to the Israeli measures. A-class, Carlton and Plaza Park. After the Israeli-Lebanese conflict of 2006, tourism industry of the city wasn't restored. Image in art. The poetic cycle of the Russian poet Anton Nechayev, Nahariya Lamps, is devoted to the city of Nahariya. The main character of the movie, Igor's Travel and Cranes, of the director Avni Ruman, is repatriated to Nahariya, where there is a final part of the movie. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.